Hello, this is Grace talking, also known as Grey Fable. You are currently listening to Arkenmore, D&D Noir. In this podcast, I run my friends through my Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Noir themed setting called Arkenmore. Atop the bones of the monster continent of Arkenmore, once the exclusive realm of heroes and adventurers, a new society has been erected. Fueled by changing technology and powerful economics, the city of New Amphros stands as the crown jewel of the human empire. However, rampant corruption among government agents and organized crime syndicates have tarnished what might have otherwise been a golden era. Content warnings for this episode include horror elements, sexism, and bigotry towards fantasy species. Now let's begin. Hi, this is Grace here. Unfortunately, right before the session started, I stood up and ripped my cord right out of my audio box and it is broken. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with the audio quality of me being on my headset for the session, so sorry about that. Now let's get to it.
So, last session, as we return to our downtime, the party decided to lay low at the estate for one single week, during which you all took separate downtime options and pursued your individual goals. Maya had her sights set on acquiring a new set of skills, and to do so, she sought a tutor in Hugh Gilt, Private Eye. After taking him to see the latest Ranger Rick flick, she convinced him to take her on as a student investigator, in which he would set her to various tasks to hone her deductive eye, tasks which I have a DM'd specs about. Now Edward instead opted to socialize with those staying in the estate, namely Dr. Liza Taru and Dr. Whitehall himself. Whitehall was an easy person to socialize with, since the party had already landed in his good graces from helping him with the deal with the Mirror of Ego. As for Zitaru, she was equally eager to spend time with Edward, but only if during those times she were allowed to study his strange psionic abilities, which weirdly enough mirror those of Charles Flick, the great scion himself. Carmen wished to settle some unfinished business with the estate. To do so, she summoned the maid, Miss Alice, and questioned her again about her encounter with the Mirror of Ego, prompting her to confess that she had armed herself with a knife to protect herself from the cook's unwanted attentions. After that was resolved, she and the cook was indeed dealt with. She traveled to St. Sola Cathedral and reunited with Sor Mercy to apprise her of her situation and receive some new orders. Now Koloth also had business in the city, but first he wanted to address his promise to Guillem Creed that he would fight her. The two of them sparred in the yard, and upon Koloth's decisive victory, she swore her allegiance to him. He then took his new vassal with him to Old Town, the neighborhood that his family had ruled at the time that he had gotten arrested. He found the neighborhood to be largely unchanged, but with some unsettling quiet over it. Once he was able to get an audience with the head of his family, Koloth, it was revealed to him that the Koloth clan was only able to hold on to their territory by bending the knee to a human clan, the Nova Aurora. And that is where we will pick back up. But before we find out more about Koloth's situation, I would like to, ask Callum what he is up to during this week, since we did not get around to him last week.
Yeah, it's some technical difficulties last week. I think for the minor action, Callum, I'm gonna take the prayer/meditation minor action, and Callum spends some time trying to get back in touch. Probably most of it in the estate's gardens. Trying to get back in touch with something closer to the natural world. From the stone barren prison that has been our home for the past so many months. And some of that includes meditation. He very much is a night owl. Spending a lot of time, especially on
That
nights
makes
where
sense.
there's not so much cloud cover and the moon is more exposed or visible.
So, as your minor task, you will be meditating. You are close to the sea. It is currently a waning gibbous moon. Mostly clear skies. It is early winter. Cool and crisp. You feel the familiar sea breeze rush over the water and embrace your face as you meditate. What does this look like for Callum? Is there any sort of rituals he goes about, any offerings he sets out for the spirits?
Traditional, what outsiders would look like, kind of traditional halfling, kind of rustic traditions, leaving out saucers of milk and bowls of clean water for the four-legged and winged friends that are in some cases considered to be the messengers or the eyes of the man in the moon. But a lot of it is time spent kind of almost bathing in moonlight, like in quiet repose, outdoors. And for Callum's druidic background, spending time in the thicker parts of the garden and the grounds, especially if there's any kind of like lots of hedge cover or anything like that, it's very much like immersing himself in the natural world so much that it can be done here is restorative for him and for his abilities. I mean, not mechanically, but in terms of like roleplay. And yeah, I think he's been separated from any kind of connection to nature for a very long time, and from the moon itself too. I mean, that was effectively a windowless concrete,
Yeah.
not concrete, but stone abattoir full of
Yes, and
no good gas.
oh, indeed. Although there was life within that stone fortress, creeping between the cracks in the stones. Spending all that time in the null gas, there was a stifling of a soul and a stifling of a spirit around you. It is as if you are breathing fully again. You reconnect with those spirits, those unseen entities that you can always feel moving about you. And the moonlight, as you bathe in it, know that all it represents. How it can change what the eye sees when it falls over it at night. Glimmers of dreams turned real, and how this transformation can be made physical. How you yourself have made these transformations physical. One moment a halfling, next a beast. As you finally feel that light, the man in the moon wash over you, you get that sense that there is more. Just like him, you're entering a new phase. And you realize, even if they're beyond your grasp, there are new forms just beyond what you can reach that you might be able to achieve soon. And new spells, new ways to rework this spiritual magic you've learned all your life. With that, you gain a sense of power.
Yeah. No, he's at ease in some ways for the first time in a long time. The birch branch from the island is never far from his grasp, whether transformed or not. And yeah, there are more forms almost in response to the experiences we had on the island and the undead that we fought. That ambient magic is in some ways his own abilities respond to that. That's part of this transformation, of this growth. And then to that end, for the major action, I think if we have access to the library of the Doctor, I would like to take the research action to investigate any more specific information about the undead that might be able to be found in this library. Because he's heard stories, probably. He might even have encountered some more rustic variation of undead out in his old kind of hometown. But actual concrete knowledge of what that looks like is not something that he has had a ton of exposure to beyond what we just saw in there.
Indeed. And yes, you do have access to Lighthall's library should you request it. Now, your standing with him is positive. There are certain rare books that he's still reluctant to share, but the majority of it you have access to if you wish to spend your major task perusing through these volumes, searching for what is relevant about the undead, about necromantic magic, and the like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he doesn't know a ton of actual lore about kind of what the modern perception of magic is and how it works. He has his kind of rustic understanding, like the tradition that he was taught in. So he doesn't have like a background of theory to draw from, but all the same, this seems like a good place to start.
Oh yes. And of course you are been entrenched in all kinds of folk tales about the undead, ghosts, ghoulies, and the like. Which you know you can kind of sift through in your mind and find kernels of truth in all of them. But since you're researching, you will be making a relevant investigation check. This is a scholarly pursuit, so it will be a intelligence-based investigation. So,
Okay.
and was there anything specific that you had in mind that you're trying to glean, or just kind of how it might connect with your experiences in Morgato?
I think with how our experience in Morgado might have, I think that's kind of where it starts. If there was any kind of reference to any ties between or relation of the moon and the undead, that would definitely be an area that he would want to go down. But right now, we don't really know enough to get super specific. I think is kind of where we're at. So I can make that check.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna set like this as a pretty standard DC then, which is let's see, 12, 15, yeah, so it's gonna be 12.
Okay.
But see, I'm gonna say that the moon thing is gonna be more ambiguous as to whether you'll find an answer for that, so it depends on how well you do.
And just for a mechanical knowledge, it's been a minute since I've done anything. Our ability checks in D&D 2025, those are, even if you're rolling with a skill, that counts as an ability check. Is that right?
Yeah, that's an ability check. Like, how do you...
Okay, I would like... in the sense that I want to cast Enhance Ability on myself before attempting this research, essentially.
Alright, very well.
If that is amenable to you for intelligence.
This is an hour-long spell, yes?
Yeah, and if you want to rule that it can't be used for like a straight-up advantage, I'd be okay with that too. I mean, he does have up to 3 casts of it a day while we have downtime, which is why I thought it might be a little bit more defensible than just like... I'm not trying to make the argument that it's like, in literally 1 hour, 1 day. But I think that this could be interpreted to reflect, like, multiple uses of it over the course of research during this downtime. Because, like, he's not a very bookish person, but he does have this ability to enhance his own intelligence with magic.
Okay. I will say that instead of giving you straight up advantage, it will lower the DC for every spell that you use or other mechanical thing that you use to give yourself an edge.
I don't think I really have anything else that I can use here. Yeah, no, I mean, there is a bonus to Arcana checks, but that's from Magician, that's a different thing. So yeah, I'll just roll an investigation roll with potentially lowered DC from using that spell.
Yep, you're basically researching on, like, massive pots of coffee at this point.
Yeah, so we'll see how we do.
Pretty good. So you met the original DC.
Alright, we'll take that.
So even with a lowered DC, it's not enough to be an exceptional success, but is an success. So you do get, so when you roll a success, you receive general information and answer to one specific question, which you did ask already, and I can determine if that's viable to be answered through research, which I think it is. So you want to know if there's any connection between, just so I'm not getting this wrong, the undead and the moon, or phases of the moon.
Yeah, I think that would be the specific question, since we do know that it happened during the longest night of the year, based on that holiday. And then, and this doesn't have to be something that you give me like a whole spiel of text on, but like maybe just some like general in-character knowledge of the undead, not how to like make them or anything, but like more familiarity than he would have had before, if that would be like the general information.
Okay, yeah, of course. So as you're researching in this question of like the connection between undead and natural cycles is how I interpret that, you will learn that necromancy or necromancers have historically preferred new moons to full moons. And this is because the dark... Now, scholars believe this is... While there were mystical connotations between they believe that people derive more power for necromantic spells in the dark is more practical in that since it's it's considered a profane form of magic, they practice it during times when they're less likely to be caught, which is when it's dark outside. Which is also the reason why they prefer to do it at night. So historically, in most cultures, this form of spellcasting is linked with night and new moons rather than full moons. However, one thing you do find of interest is that when it comes to incorporeal undead, those that manifest as pure spirits, you see that there is a linkage between those and full moons instead. And that is more of a manifestation of less of a necromancer summoning them and more of a natural manifestation of powerful areas of magic when they interact with dead souls. Particularly when someone has died in an area where there's a high concentration of magic. This is a known phenomena in Amphrosion ruins where the magical energies are so dense that it manifests as a fog in the air. And those are the places where people have cited incorporeal undead the most in Arkenmore. It's very unlikely to see those in mundane places.
Interesting.
And I will throw another bone about Longnacht since you were interested in that as well. As since this is the longest night of the year, the practitioners of the Church of Goldra go out of their way to do rituals that will detract from unholy and necromantic energies to combat them, since that is when the veil is weakest, the night is longest, and that is when you most likely would see necromantic activity. So the Nuluganock activities are a way to combat that.
Interesting. Well, that certainly gives us something to keep an eye out for. In terms of watch your back when there's no moon out. Okay, cool. Yeah, and a lot of this would be done in the library proper, I would think. If there are less, like, key texts that it wouldn't be objected to, he might do some of this work in our kind of guest house, just because it's more comfortable. But, yeah, I think it's, he's not quite as comfortable with the city, I think, as the rest of y'all are at this point. So he definitely keeps a bit more to the estate grounds, doing this research, other than at night when he's kind of more out and about, potentially maybe checking out the neighborhood in his wild shape form. But yeah.
Are these more solo excursions, or does he like invite people to come hang out with him while he does that?
I think the moon stuff, he would just assume that people would not be interested in doing that. And it is definitely like, it's because it's not like exciting or anything like that. It's him like just kind of reconnecting. But I don't think he's not especially going out of his way to hide it or anything like that. Like it's clear that he's out at night a lot. But there's also not all that much of anything interesting going on either.
At least to the untrained eye. Callum, why do you keep putting saucers of milk out?
It's good luck.
And yeah, regarding the library, you are mostly going to be left alone, but if you're not careful certain times of day, Dr. Whitehall might come in there and see what you're reading and launch into a lecture.
I think he might, probably the first time or two that happens, he gets kind of caught off guard by it. He's like, oh, the hell? Are these useful lectures? Or are they rambling?
So, considering your subject matter, what would probably happen is he would come in, see that you're researching something regarding undead. He'll start talking to you about the arcane theory behind it, and then it will devolve into him giving an anecdote about one of his expeditions or something, and we'll start to get off track.
Callum probably entertains this maybe even a handful of times, but when he's like kind of getting into the groove, we'll try and keep to himself a little bit more in the library because it is a little tedious. Maybe after the second anecdote gets shared that is just the same story. It's like, okay, I get how this guy works. Don't get him started about older women.
Sorry, it's like, you're looking at undead, are you, son? That reminds me of an older woman.
It's like, how much older are we talking?
My true love.
Yeah, unfortunately, with him, it's he and Edward are starting to become companions. Or at least he's exploring it because Edward seems to be interested in talking to him and carousing with him. You know, drinking, playing some games of cards, and going to dinner parties. He's like, but there's something about that Callum. He's a good listener. He needs a guiding hand.
Really good listener. He's closer to the ground. Makes him more susceptible to my words. It's like that tall one, it just seems to roll off him.
Indeed. Alright, so that's your minor and your major task. Was there anything else not really task-worthy that you're pursuing this week?
I don't think so. I don't really think he is equipped enough yet to really pursue leads regarding his brother or the criminal elements that he's wrapped up in, or even the only other kind of halfling that he knows is in the city, Rosie, which is his old friend. I think that this is still so new that that's not something he's pursuing right now. But as we get more of a footing under us, and get more comfortable moving around the city too, that will be kind of next objectives. But for right now, yeah, I think that's most of what the downtime kind of looks like. I mean, we did just get off of that island for the first time in several months of pretty brutal prison living.
Oh yeah. I understand that it's going to take Callum a minute to get back on that horse, considering last time he got on that horse, he ended up in the hospital.
It's a fucking dwarf with a chainsaw and a Tommy gun. Several.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up situation.
And, you know, maybe next time you see an encounter like that, you'll actually be able to do it without dying.
That would be good if it were an option.
Round 2. But for right now, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that will do it for me. For this first downtime.
Sounds good. Now, out of everybody's downtime so far, there's only one who was left on a cliffhanger. I think it's only fair that we pick that back up. So, Koloth. Yeah, I see you, but I don't hear you.
I wasn't saying words, I was doing a cat-like silent scream.
Well, unfortunately, you can't run from your problems indefinitely. So coming back around to Koloth's downtime, you return to your old neighborhood, your clan's old territory. Find yourself face to face with Koloth herself. One whose name you bear only as a representative. As she has just informed you that the House of Koloth is now bent its knee to a different clan, a human one who goes by the name of Nova Aurora. And as she drops that name to you, peering down, clad in her ceremonial armor, she is still as a statue, her eyes watching. For any flicker of recognition, perhaps, or for any tremor, any giving way of your spirit.
Alright, well, let's see if the Koloth knows things that Tyler's do not, if you do not mind. Is there some way I could evaluate the knowledge that Koloth might have?
I do not think that there is going to be a skill check in this regard that's going to help you unless you wish to evaluate Koloth herself.
Shamelessly, when you're in a negotiation, you're required to do that. Anytime you're talking to somebody when they're being out of character, you need to have some sort of insight to how they're thinking or feeling or what their goals are.
Indeed. And now would be the time if you wish to roll an insight.
I very much do, and I would like to spend a... okay, well, I said I was going to do it, so I'm...
You are legally obligated to do it.
This is a tactical assessment.
Okay.
I have to declare it ahead of time, so we're doing a tactical assessment.
Okay. Use your superiority dice. You add... Alright, so you rolled a 17 on the d20, an 8 on your superiority die, and with your bonuses altogether, you rolled a 28 total. Alright, so here is what you're going to see in this woman who, since you were young, has represented everything to you in terms of what authority looks like, what holding power looks like, what being the head of your clan looks like. As she's peering at you, you see a chink in her armor. You see, beyond the austere gaze, unflinching, unflappable. Behind the mask and the deception, there is nothing there but doubt and loss and grief. You see a woman who has been torn in half. Despite even still wearing that armor, she has given up.
Then Koloth will take that as inspiration to voice any defiance he might have to the cold steel. Sorry, I did the thing. I'm so sorry. The Nova Aurora guys. I of course mean Nova Aurora, because Koloth is trying to relate the plan, or at least his view of a plan, to an older story from the home country about a set of twins from an ancient clan who were in a similar situation, where one of them worked to further the clan from the shadows, while the other one basically pretended to be subservient, and then they were able to overthrow. In the story, it's phrased as a less worthy clan in terms of character.
Okay.
So he tries to couch it in those terms, like there's no shame in bending the knee, so long as we have a plan, like the clans of old. What matters is character and the justice and wisdom of Koloth. Like ancient Zaren, I believe we have a way to right our course.
Come speaking to me about defeat and its passing nature. You come speaking to me of an ancient clan who rose from the ashes after being subjugated, whose name still rings across our homeland and even here. She takes a heavy breath. Well, if you're so eager to be subservient for today and great victory tomorrow, then I would hear from you. Is this what you wish?
Koloth taught me that the warlord declared victory a state of mind. That is why we, the children of Gozar, rule rather than the bugbear. There is only one path approved by our ancestors, and that's the one I would recommend we take. Were you asking me for my recommendation?
Recommendation I do not wish to take from you. You are not apprised of the situation yet. I wish to know what your will is. I wish to know what you desire of me, who am charged with protecting and guiding you. Dargol, I saw you grow up. You were chosen from a young age, earmarked for this position that I hold. I was not the one you were meant to inherit it from. Already once our clan suffered great losses in our home. Already once I saw our house be taken from us. And then, in this new land, everything that we've endured happened again, a second time. I thought you were lost. I imagined if I fought to the end, then that would be the end of my line. Our line of this name. It is true, what you've said, because bugbears, when faced with an impossible victory, will fight till the bitter end, until every last blood has been shed. The honorable, their war cries will echo out. Hollow, and none of their kin will ever hear from them again. But a hobgoblin, faced with such a fate, hearing the cries of her children, she, instead, chose to sully her name and spare those who fought for that very name. Does this upset you?
I'm not upset. My will is the will of the clan, and so if we are one, and I do as you direct. Merely, I have to disagree when you speak of things such as defeat in such absolute terms. Part of that obedience I owe to you includes raising opposition when one of us may be making a mistake.
She nods. Good. Good. That is why I placed our future in your hands. Before we can proceed, before I would have you give me your advice on how we move forward, it is necessary that I inform you of the terms that was accepted for the continuation of the House of Koloth. After what was a slaughter on our land of the encroaching enemy, the dwarven clan, the Kazamari, they returned to repay the blood price. As was expected, with you having, however, given yourself to the human authorities, were unavailable. Gina took charge of this second invasion, and it was disastrous. We were overrun in terms of numbers. They defended our house here, this building, these stones, this cement, well, but blood was shed in every space. And then, what cannot be bought with bloodshed, the dwarves sought to buy with gold. They made a claim through the city on these buildings on the street that we rule, and the city would give it to them. We would then be fighting on multiple fronts. The Dwarven clan, the human authorities, and whoever else wished to claim this scrap of land of ours. In the last minute of the last hour, I received a new offer. Humans with more money, more gold, more resources, I think, even than the Kazamari have, offered to hold these buildings in our name. They paid the gold price for it. I would not negotiate with an entity that would not reveal themselves to me. The name they gave me was the Nova Aurora. They had two terms for this treaty. The first was that they wished to use one of our buildings, the oldest one, for their own ends, their own operations, and that we would not bother them. The second, they required something. Well, the Fates do have a sense of humor, as is known. They required bodies, but not of our own people. I refused. They required that the newly dead be delivered to them. Those we slay in combat, those who have broken our laws, are put to the sword. Those are given to the Nova Aurora. It has not been long, but with each passing day, I feel a heaviness in my soul. That every pound of flesh they take, if we do not keep the bodies coming, I do not know what will become of us. What do you make of this, Dargle, young Koloth?
Our first order of business must be to evaluate this master. I've never heard of this Nova Aurora before, and for the Kazamari and the city themselves to leave upon their mere presence baffles. Their ends just as confusing. But there is a tie to our escape. The prison of Morgato was attacked by a series of undead corpses rising from the earth. The timing of this does raise suspicions.
What do you mean?
Perhaps for an organization to appear, a house or clan of from the Aether like this, collecting bodies, the same time that bodies are rising from the earth, does raise concerning questions. We have a severe benefit in that I'm expected to be dead. Perhaps it's better that I return to that. I could investigate
With that, she nods.
without violating the agreement.
Yes. As part of this treaty, I am sworn on the name of Koloth to not share this information with any outside of our clan. And as a member of this house, you are also sworn not to spread the name of Nova Aurora outside of here. If you were, she pauses there, a member of this clan,
Your suggestion being an exile that would allow me to take actions on your behalf without being tied to the agreement.
you understand.
To cease being Koloth.
I am bound in blood. That which was shed in my house, that which was shed in our homeland. Such a thing will pass on to you. but it need not be today. You were deemed dead when you were taken.
Then, until such time as I have redeemed myself in the eyes of Koloth, he takes the sword that he was just given off of his belt and hands it to her. And he says, I am Koloth no more, and I will be Zargul until I am redeemed.
She takes the sword in both of her hands, carefully balancing it. And then, instead of as you would expect for an exile, which of course would be for her to beat you with the hilt and send you out of her house, she puts it on the ground. And she steps forward, puts her hands on your shoulders, puts her face near to yours. The dearest son of the House of Koloth, your loss is grave and deep. May the great warrior guide you back to our steps once again. May this afterlife not last long for you. May your blade cut deep, your enemies howl in agony. May all those who hear your name tremble. May it once again be my name, Koloth. And she very lightly smacks you with her gauntleted hand. I disown you.
It, it, it deeply pains me to say this, but they must see you chase me from the building.
She picks up the sword again and points it at you. Leave.
Okay, I am going to. Koloth does a performance,
Yes.
right? Because that's what this is. This is a deep kind of. We have to yell for Gulam on our way out, while looking visibly reprimanded and as depressed as physically possible. So I guess deception could also probably make sense. What do you think I should do to simulate that? Or Koloth's going to leave and try not to. Break the character of a beaten dog, mostly.
Yeah, that's more of a performance check, I think, in this case. Well, another 17 for a total of 21. She follows you out to the elevator where her bugbear's waiting. He looks perplexed. See her brandishing the sword, and she shouts, "Leave this house!" She has tears in her eyes.
Koloth has much the same. Those are real, at least. But this has to feel genuine. So, despite knowing this guard since probably his own birth, he forces his way back as if retreating from the blade. So he throws his weight into the man and then dives into the elevator.
You hear, "See to it that he leaves. Shoot him if he returns." You slam the button. The elevator gate shakily closes. You see the bugbear that another one you've grown up with comes to the gate, brandishing the large gun and holding it pointed at you. That is the last thing you see as the doors close. His eyes, his face, screwed up between diligence to obey and a deep fear of what may come of these actions. as the elevator grinds agonizingly slow and brings you back to the bottom. They reopen. You see there are several of the guard waiting for you there. All of them armed, all of them waiting. You see Ghoulam has gotten out her own. Well, she's actually, I would say, probably only has her fist raised as she is actively ready to jump on one of them. She shouts to you, "Hey! Koloth, what's going on?"
He shouts like, "Do not speak that name to me!" And puts his hands up and moves to leave. We're leaving.
Their weapons train on you. None of them fire, none of them even go close to you. They're only watching. She looks between you and the people, their weapons raised, who are not fighting. Clear confusion on her face. Screwed up. She huffs. She walks up to one of the bugbears, looks him dead in the eye. "That's what I thought. Cowards." As she follows you out. They follow you to the door, waiting. All lined up. And, among their ranks, Tigong is there. His face stolid, watching you descend the steps. His own weapon trained on you. You can tell with your passive insight. Unlike the others, he seems less surprised by this turn of events. And among them you see a smaller figure watching you. Not a hobgoblin, but a goblin. One that you only came to know when you entered the neighborhood. Little, Pulset, the goblin taxi driver. Several other goblins have crowded around to watch you leave.
Shameful.
You see, as he's watching you, there's a misty look in his eyes. More confusion. You hear him say, "But why? I didn't even get to say hi."
For this to be sold, it needs to feel genuine. So Koloth doesn't even meet his eyes. Or I guess that's not his name anymore.
Well, that I will leave up to you. You exit the house, the housing complex. You exit the neighborhood. You hear Creed kind of talking at you, saying someone called on the phone, and suddenly, billion bugbears showed up with guns and told me I had to leave. What's going on?
I have been exiled from the clan.
She throws her hands up. Yeah? What'd you do? I thought you walked up to the clan leader and pissed on their sheets or something.
Close enough.
Well, I don't believe that you would do anything like that. Nah, you're not that interesting. No offense.
None taken. Could we not do this for some time? I need to collect myself. You may mock me again tomorrow.
She's like, sticks her hands in her pockets, looks around as you're walking. The streets are dead quiet. No one's outside even at this moment. You see in the distance, people are watching you through windows, but that's about it. Can't wait to get out of here. You look like you could use a drink. I know a bar.
Gozar says I can't drink.
Who?
The warlord. The one who organized the world.
Oh, you mean like Gozaro? I guess I probably should have gotten that through context clues, huh?
That's the country of his chosen people.
Okay, are you sure that you can't have one drink? Because damn. I'm not supposed to mock you, you said. You wanna punch me?
I'm going to walk back to the mansion. Here is money for the cab.
That'll take you 2 days or something.
That is so.
She looks at the change. Looks back at you. Okay. Listen. I understand that there was... It's been a while since you've seen your clan. Things didn't work out how you wanted. Come to the club. You're like me, you have to start all over again. Can't... How do I describe this? You can't just let yourself mope. You gotta do things, action. You have to live. Even if you're dead. Orcs don't believe that people actually die, you know?
Oh, is that so?
It's more like being put on pause.
So, being on pause is like death then? Works both ways.
There's multiple kinds of death. There's the kind that kills your body. There's the kind that kills your soul. None of those are permanent.
I'll ride back with you. We'll fight again, and then I will explain what has happened.
Alright. Well, I want to blow this joint fast. I have a feeling if we stay here too long, we're gonna get jumped. So don't linger.
That's part of the plan.
Okay. She quickly crosses the street and goes down a different path.
Oh, Koloth is too opportunistic at the chance to actually strengthen that bond. So he's shifted from wanting to walk home to going the taxi with her, so that he can take advantage of that while the iron is hot.
So you chase after her. Rather, you pursue her quickly. With dignity,
right.
I should say.
With dignity,
she needs to think that she... Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
You pursue her while she's drunk and you're sober.
Right. It's very healthy for everybody involved.
She's going to grin and show you her tusks. Welcome back, fellow. Claps your shoulder. Member of the dead. You change your mind about that drink yet? Maybe, old Gozar doesn't mind it if you've been, well, pushed into the realms of the dead. Maybe only counts when you're alive.
There are limits, but I will join you for yours.
Very well. She jingles the coins. I'm not ready for a cab. I'm going to get myself a cheap drink first. There's enough for that.
And Koloth will be mostly tagging along and looking miserable for the next few hours.
Okay. And I think that it's a good place to cut away from Koloth's point of view, however name you wish to adapt for the time being. Nevertheless, you've been, despite the brutality of how that conversation ended, you were given something of a task to pursue. So it is Yep, up to you how you wish to interact with that.
Oh, we'll handle it later. For now, I'm excited to see more of what everybody else is up to. They've all had some really cool things going.
Indeed. Back at the estate, days go by. Uh, Everybody else pursues their individual kind of tasks they wish to accomplish. I like to circle around to Edward. At this point, it'll probably be closer towards the end of this week. I think we're heading on to day number 5 at this point. It is deep into the night. And Edward, though, you have not dreamt of those figures that haunted your dreams while you're in Morgato. You do have a tendency to hear at the very edges of your consciousness this kind of whispering. As you try to hone in on it, the words elude you. Always you awaken and you see, even if it's out of your sight, you kind of can see that book is laying near, and you feel this kind of draw to it. Every day that you spend with it, the more you feel this attachment.
Ooh, don't like that. But oh man, don't like that.
And it's on this night that I would like you
Of course.
to, because of this book, it's going to give you an opportunity to make this roll, a perception check.
All right, I will attempt this perception check as it is impromptu. So it is a surprise. No spells that go off to aid it, and it'll just be an all natural.
That's right. Just raw. Just a
Holy
casual 19.
shit.
Okay. Just casual 19, no biggie, a total of 23. It's good when players roll high. Uh, let's see. So, you lie in your bed, restless, the whispering intensifies, and then you hear something else. Sounds of footsteps. Your eyes. There's been multiple times this night where you've thought you've awoken and you stayed in bed. This time your eyes open for real at the sound of these footsteps. And you awaken to see none other than your father standing. He is next to the open window. He stops. He has his back to you. He stops. He turns. And then he looks at you as if he could sense your gaze on him. Edward, go back to sleep.
What are you doing?
You
Seem rather active.
should go back to sleep. It is better that you do not see me.
No, no. You don't get to deign when I come to you. You don't drag me into imprisonment and then drag me towards you to rescue you, pull you from your cell, and then tell me I am not allowed to see. You don't get to tell me what I can and cannot do.
You still don't understand. Drag you to imprisonment? I am not the one who put you there.
No, you're not, but here we are. finally reunited after you've ignored my existence since I was born. Yet now I am useful. And now I serve a purpose, so, it's all sons and darling boys. Oh, I'm so enamored, so deeply touched, Father.
And he chuckles as you say that. Well, perhaps you thought me neglectful. But, just as before, I do this for your own good. You should let me leave.
Let you leave? What? For what purpose? For what? Why should I just let you crawl away again? After you crawled away the other times. You thought it best? You thought it best to leave me in the care of that harpy?
Listen, I've had my differences with your mother. Even so, I will not hear you say those words about her.
Who wanted to defend her? She loved you. You know how I know that? I was made to know that every time she reminded me that she did not love me, I am allowed to besmirch her, I feel.
That's going to satisfy you.
I am
To
not
besmirch
gonna.
her and myself.
I am not gonna be granted any measure of satisfaction here. That I've learned keenly when I found you as you were, rescued you as you were, and we spoke the briefest moments, the most I've ever spoken with you in my life. A part of me, the child that survived, perhaps felt maybe I would find solace, I would find an answer, I'd find something when we made contact. When you acknowledged me as yours. And here you are, going off again, wanting to just cast it aside. Not only me, but the feelings I have for you and the feelings I had for my mother. No, you don't understand. What? How could you understand? No, you were born for a greater purpose, right? I read the books, I read the pamphlets, I read the brochure. I certainly read that book that brought me to you ultimately.
As you are speaking, he's been arching one of his very powerful, as you know, eyebrows.
Oh, they're
And
very powerful.
as your speech begins to slow down a little bit, he sighs. Very well. You wish to speak to me about this greater purpose. That's what you've been wishing to speak to me about this past week, yes?
There is a lot I wanted to talk to you about. Yes, the, the grand design that I've been roped into. The grand design that has put you in prison, put me in prison to get you out of prison. The grand design that has put you in front of me for at long last for you to acknowledge that I, Edward, am your son. And even now I can't even deny it because voices, your followers, your cult, then remind me that we are intimately entwined in some capacity that I still don't understand.
You wish to know about the grand design? You wish to know what I've seen? I will
Yes.
show you, then. You will open up your mind. Not. There's wry, kind of, tone in his voice. Not that I actually need the permission, but I'm asking it.
That's one trick I did not learn from you, but why? Yes, you have my permission. I will open my mind so that I may understand at long last what all this means, if it had any meaning at all.
Here is but a piece of what I've been shown by those who are called the Starborn. And as he speaks, the room around you begins to fade. It becomes overtaken by a different sight, a different vision, as you find yourself in a somewhat familiar place, somewhere on the city streets of New Amphros. It looks like it's somewhere in Uptown. You see the lights, the cars rushing by, laughter, music is playing. It is your typical night among those who are able to idle away their hours at the clubs, but is shattered by a scream. In nearby Nighttown, the doors burst open, and there's a tirade of people storming out, screaming for their lives. Some of them run into each other, stumble, and fall. One woman wearing heels, the heel of her sandal catches and breaks. She stumbles over onto the pavement. She looks back in horror as an undead creature ambles over and crouches to devour her. There are more people pushing, more people screaming as more and more of this undead horde floods the streets. You hear vehicles crashing, honking, chaos. And then, as the screams start to crescendo, one by one, the bright city lights, like stars in the sky, flicker and dim into darkness. The vision fades. And that was just a piece of it, what I was shown.
Future. They showed you the future.
Isn't it so surprising after what I've shown you while you're in Morgato?
No, it's not. I saw, felt, not only me, but the others. They saw and they felt it.
Indeed.
How do we... Do you mean to stop this? If you mean to stop this, I can help. I'm equipped with abilities that... I am not a child anymore. If you mean to stop this, I can help.
There is more to this design. I was just like you when I first learned of it. I saw for myself a greater destiny, an ability to stop what would happen. And I thought the Starborn chose me for this destiny because of my abilities, because of my intellect, my mastery of this new art of psionics. I thought I was the chosen one to wield this power for all of humanity, for the other species of this planet. He looks at you. His back is to the open window. You see moonlight shines through. You only see the light of his eyes narrow, but that was not their plans. The ritual.
The ritual.
They
My
that the Salvation Force is not myself, but themselves. Storborn, they wish for a portal to our world. They convinced me that they were the saviors, that they would stop this from happening.
This is apocalypse. And then why? How did you wind up in so, your name scrubbed from records? Myself brought it. I was brought in just to bring you out so you could make this ritual happen. It was a small cog in it all.
No, you still don't understand. The cog was me. I was only the instigator. They did not want me after all.
Discarded.
Yes, I was
The great-
discarded.
The great Charles Flick discarded. That's unthinkable.
You see the shadow of his arm raise as he scratches his chin, considering it. I was useful for a time, but I was not the portal they were seeking. I was unfit. You see, this entry into our world, it's not a thing. It's not the book.
It's not the book. It's I that doesn't make any sense. I was brought to the prison. I was brought there to find you.
Yes. Why do you think that is?
To free you from your binds, to release you onto the world, to do the bidding. It made the most sense. You are Charles Flick. Your powers, your grasp of these psionics is without equal.
You're not wrong. You're not mistaken. I am the greatest master of psionics in this realm. And I have many pupils. And out of all of them, the Starborn sought a portal. The portal is a person.
Do you know who this person is?
I think I do now, yes.
Who is it?
It might be you. I believe it might be your sister. Those who were trained from birth.
I was not trained from birth, but she wasn't she?
Indeed.
Do you not have any thoughts on this? Your own children used.
We were all used.
What does it mean to be a portal? Are you spent? Are you sacrificed? What does it mean to be a portal? You don't know, do you?
He hesitates. Once it is finished, I do not know what becomes of the one who acts as a conduit, no.
I thank you, Father. First time in perhaps your entire life you've been honest with me, and I have something more to focus on, something stronger, something... Alright. Discarded. Charles Flick. Me? My sister? If she is meant to be a portal, if she is meant to be sacrificed, I see this undone. So, great Charles Flick, infirm Charles Flick, extending out his tendrils of mental might into the world beyond his bed. Where do you intend to flee?
He kind of chuckles dryly at those words. Infirm? Infirm, you say?
Physically, but not
Is
mentally.
so maybe you have not learned anything at all, Edward. The power of the mind is the only power that matters. And with that, the dark of his eyes turns to a greenish glow, and the light outlines his entire body as he rises off of the ground. Whatever they might do to my body, my mind, I assure you, remains intact. He's speaking directly into your mind right now. These Starborn, though they sought to use me to their purposes, underestimated me, and I made use of the knowledge they imparted me, and I will not be broken so easily. And once again, I suggest you allow me, there is a flicker of the greenish light around him, to leave this place. I do not wish to harm you, or these others who I assume you believe to be your friends.
If you intend to hold them hostage, I will not fight you, Father. I will not stand in your way. If you wish to leave after all this, you may go.
Edward, you are aware that the authorities seek me.
I am well aware, as much as they seek me, though perhaps to a diminished extent.
Your identity as my son is perhaps hidden enough that you can be kept safe for now. Another reason why I wish to depart.
This is fine. I will not stop you, and I will not provide aid in your capture, especially after all the extent, all the trouble I went to getting you out of there.
I will not take that book with me. Do you know why?
Because you have no need of it, because you've learned everything that you penned it. Why would you have need of it?
Yes. But perhaps more importantly, even if I wish to take it, to destroy it, to keep it away from the eyes of those who would do us wrong, those who are misguided in their attempts to seal away this, as they call it, unholy magic, it would not matter. If I take that book with me, or destroy it, it will appear again in your possession. I hope you realize that by now.
I had an inkling. Even when I sleep, dreamless sleep, I feel them. I hear them.
Yes.
Perhaps the same way you do.
He pauses there, for many long nights abandoned me, when I rejected their cause. I hear them again now, just on the other side of the door, always knocking, asking for admittance that I cannot give them. They share with me more of these horrific visions of our future, of humanity's future, of the consequence of denying them. So I am curious. He's drifting towards the window but lingers. What do you intend to do now that you know? Now that I've imparted this knowledge that you so dearly sought from me, what do you wish to do next?
not sure. The only thing I'm sure of, the only thing I'm guaranteed of, now that you are safe and well, I will seek out my sister to ensure she is safe and well.
There's another dry chuckle. Ha. Your sister. You will have to go through the... There's a quotation marks implied harpy to get to her. I can guarantee you that. If you wish
I'm
to save her from this fate.
I'm aware it's something I will tackle with not gusto, but I will tackle it all the same. I will deal with it. It's been a long time coming. And now that I've met you, I imagine I have some ammo for the harpy.
Ah, indeed. What if it were so easy for me to impart this knowledge on you and wipe my hands clean of it? But it will not be
Word,
that way.
no, word's so easy. I have grown eerily familiar with the difficulty of learning who you are, familiarizing myself with you, and moving forward with the rest of my family.
Well, there are some bonds in blood that ancient magic can still make use of, unfortunately. But since you will not stop me, I will take my leave this time.
Rest well and try not to get arrested again. I don't think I could do that a second time.
No. This is not a time for second chances. As far as the Starborn are concerned, mine is spent. But my work is not finished. With that, he drifts towards the window and descends out slowly. Do you, if you look out to where he's going, you'll see in the garden there is, a figure waiting for him at the bottom.
Oh, weird.
Yep.
That was heavily hinted at before, but all right, yeah. Uh, yeah, is it a guard who's attached to the estate?
Yeah, it looks like that's the case.
Oh, weird. This son of a bitch is, yeah, mentally manipulating people. Oh, God. Well, I can't say anything because, like, obviously the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree.
Nope.
Oh, it's like, oh, it's me for real, for real.
He just like me.
It's like looking into my future.
Ed, your future's kind of a dick, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it is. That's why I let it go.
So Maya, you've been spending this week, let me turn off the spooky music that I left playing real quick.
All right, look,
Okay.
I tie that music deeply into, okay, this is about the ladies who visit me in my dreams.
I mean, it's about something to do with your dreams, but that's over, right?
God,
Obviously, when the next morning happens, Charles Flick and one of Dr. Whitehall's guards are
Weird.
gone.
How are we alerted to such?
Well, I'm gonna be real. It's going to take a while unless someone tells me
That
to
is what I am giving the opportunity.
Ed is just gonna tell people things because, like, he doesn't want to burn any bridges. Like he was already on thin ice with some of these people. Is like, all right, I don't want to give these people ammunition to hate me. Make things
What
more
do you mean
difficult
he's
down the
gone?
line. He used his abilities to move himself from his domicile and put himself in the care of someone who I believe he has bewitched with his mental capabilities. Hence the missing guard.
How many hours ago?
I'm not entirely sure, but
How many
enough.
hours ago did you wake up and realize this?
I woke up an hour ago, technically. But if you're asking me when I was made aware of this, which is a telling thing that I should not really open up with, but it's already damning as it is, isn't it?
What
I
was
was
the one
aware
difference that I said was between. What was the one difference I gave between you and your father?
that I was open with my capabilities. I was honest, and of which I'm being honest. That in the middle of the night, I happened. It was not planned. I happened to sink into his machinations. I spoke with him at length as he wove it. Again, I was unconscious at the time, physically incapable of doing anything. Mentally, if I really tested him, I would be overwhelmed, but it's not an excuse. I did willingly.
He has enthralled the person.
He has, yes, he has certainly enthralled a person. Used them to move himself from his bed. Well, less the bed and more the estate proper.
How many more do you think he can do that to?
I'm not sure. But considering what I've personally felt of his capabilities and his reputation, I imagine it could be done multiple times. However, his power is diminished. It cannot grow any further. It may even continue.
May even what?
It may even continue to diminish, considering that he has been cut off, separated from his source power.
There's a pause. Consideration. And you are not cut off from that power.
Not currently, no.
Could you free the individuals he has under his sway, if it is the same power source?
He is stronger than me. I could attempt to. I could certainly attempt to. Whether or not I would.
Have you
I mean,
attempted?
I have not. I have not attempted to control those he has wheedled into beyond the professor, the doctor, but he had not attached himself so fully as he did this god.
He has one person completely under his sway. He has an entire cult completely, likely under his sway, and he can get more individuals completely under his sway, and he is now unleashed on the town. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Then tell me why I shouldn't panic.
He is diminished. He is desperate. He is.
That is not a good thing for a cult leader to be desperate.
He wants what we want to end this upcoming threat, this apocalyptic.
What upcoming threat?
I suppose I should have led with that. Do you all remember where we all dreamed of an event that occurred but did not occur yet in the
Oh,
cafeteria?
I apologize. When you say you all, does that imply that we're like doing this over breakfast? I thought this was
Yeah,
you
no, we
chatting.
definitely are doing it.
It's up front. Like this is not
All
a
right,
mutual
it's up
thing.
front. Hell yeah, let's go.
You call like a group meeting?
Yeah, like Ed's on the spot.
Okay, alright, so there's a group meeting. Hey, you get a bleary-eyed, sleepless Koloth. And he nods along.
There's a pause where it seems as though Carmen's going to ask a question before the gaze immediately goes right back to Ed.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Again, what I saw, and it's not just a saw. I felt it.
Okay,
I was there. The undead were attacking the city en masse, and the city proper, anywhere.
Where in the city?
I'm not sure. I'm not. It was a sliver of what he deigned to give me, what they gave him, and that what is he's operating off of. The undead will rise in the city and assault it.
The specific location outlined may be less important. Right? It's just the fact that it's happening that was relevant. That's what was shared with you.
Yes, it may occur in multiple points at once. Considering the extent of what we saw, if it was propagated in multiple points in the city, the true origin point would not matter.
My misfortunes yesterday may tie into this. I've recently become aware of a group that's collecting corpses for some reason. Undisclosed.
Oh, it's
The
already
caged
started.
eyes will immediately turn to Koloth. Oh! What group?
I know very little of them, only that they were able to outbid the Kazamari for a parcel of land.
Kazamari are well established within the city's limits.
So they have
How?
a collection of what do you mean how? Like if they have a collection of bodies, they have a plan. That
means they're more established than the Kazamari that have. What is it? She'd actually look to Maya. How much money does the Kazamari have? Because from what I remember, it was entire streets.
The Kazamari?
Yes.
All right. I'm not sure if Maya's the one to ask.
She had. Didn't your mom have relations with trading with the Kazamari?
That's my mom.
Didn't your mom bang a dwarf?
One.
No, not that one. It was the I apologize. Was the underground fighting not with the Kazamari?
No, it was with the gnome.
It was with the God damn.
Lamau.
Racist.
The Veldon.
Yeah, Herb is racist.
Yeah.
No, I'm racist.
Yeah, all of them down
Does anyone know who has? Does anyone know how much influence about the Kazamari? Because that was my mistake. Bird as a character, but also it could be Carmen. I don't know.
I look in and out of character. I've become intimately aware of the Veldam, but when it comes to the Kazamari, I know nothing.
All I know is that they're my sworn enemy until the day I pass from this world.
Yeah. I know that two druids just completely wrecked their shit.
Not exactly how it went down. I couldn't tell you the material value or the number, but plenty of influence, plenty of capital, enough to bring individuals with particular abilities into their fold.
All right. So, how do we even start to combat a cult who has more money than that.
Koloth, do you know where they're gathering these bodies?
I can learn. But for now, all I have is a name, as this occurred last night, and the circumstances of which have left me emotionally distraught.
Are you alright?
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, and the name being Nova Aurora. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Does the name Nova Aurora, is that celestial?
It is, the church version
Yeah.
of Celestial. It's like, ecclesiastical Latin or
New Dawn,
what you
why?
call it. So it's Celestial.
Yeah, it's celestial
adjacent.
adjacent. It's
Yeah.
Latin. It means new dawn. Why?
That's what they call themselves. Or at least that's what they present themselves as.
New dawn.
I'm imagining that it could be related to the... Well, frankly speaking, I don't see a point in collecting bodies for anything other than necromancy.
I agree with you there. How
New Dawn.
would you like for us to proceed with that if it is causing you distress? Because I know how I want to proceed, and it is burning the entire place to the ground.
Which place?
Wherever's holding the bodies.
I don't know where they're holding the bodies. I know nothing except for their name, which I'm only allowed to disclose to you at great personal cost.
Well, as it happens, there's one of us here that can read the minds of others.
We should start.
Should start... what?
Nothing. I don't like the idea.
If you know the name of the group, could an acquaintance of yours point one of them out to us? To you?
Where? Where
I
is
have
the
no other
group?
acquaintances at this time except for Hugh Guild.
Fuck.
Seems a good enough place to start.
Where? Do you have any ideas to the location? Any ideas to where in the
No.
city? All right.
Well, one.
I shift back to him.
Well,
Where?
Maya?
so. Well, my mother wasn't the most forthcoming in her dealings. I did have a friend amongst the Kazamari. I don't know if I burnt that bridge, but
Okay. I am happy that my brain didn't completely come up with that link. I am sorry. Okay.
it may be worth trying to see if he'd be willing to help.
I would be greatly appreciative. I spent.
I can also. I have a contact in Old Town. I could attempt to see if he is available.
I think you may wish to see closer to Sea Sky Street. But be respectful of the locals, and let none of them come to harm.
We were locals.
Not to this part.
So we should look to Seasky Street. Understood. Well, how long is the entirety of Seasky Street?
It's one of the original main streets of the city. It goes pretty far
Yeah.
if you look at the map.
I do
I'm-
technically have a list of buildings that we could...
Well, no, but Koloth isn't sharing those because of personal.
I'm just trying to think of a way to keep you guys from coming into conflict with my people. Because, I can't just So out of character, right? I'm required to keep you guys from doing anything that could give away the game. I may know more specifics, but we can't risk alerting this Nova Aurora that we know.
Well, if we could get a more specific location, I might be able to take a look on
I can.
spotted. Like,
I can give a list of potential buildings.
That would be amenable.
seems as good a place as any to start.
But none of these buildings would be where they're storing the bodies. It would be a place that the bodies may be collected to be moved.
Do you think that this group... How do you think that the group is transporting them? Actually.
I don't know.
The reason why I ask is I am capable of, in times, sensing undead's presence. And thus, if they are moving them through more necromantic means, I might be able to draw on the threads therein. But it is a close range. We're not talking hundreds, we're talking less than that in terms of feet. It would be a gambler's chance. That being said, I can see where if there's a pause. My brother is known to the area. I could see if he knows anything. I haven't talked to him since, well, such as it is. But I have at least re-established contact with our current guardian.
Guardian?
Leader. There's a correction there.
You're a part of an organization?
There's a pause before a nod.
Do you wish to be more forthcoming about this, or would you like me to halt questioning?
I am a devout of the Church of Goldra, and I aim to assist her in the conflicts that she is fighting within. It is why I was able to fend the undead so well as I was.
Okay. Thank you. That doesn't mean much to
there would be another moment before she would say, "The Sorer is a quiet sort. She doesn't tend to want attention. And I would tend to not want attention either. But we need to curtail this threat, if it is a threat to the city." They make a mockery of the church's words, which I find interesting. I haven't been in the city for much time, but I also know that that phrase wasn't showing up on pamphlets 2 years ago, which denotes that it was at least relatively recent.
Nova Aurora? My understanding is that the name of the organization is kept secret.
Most religious groups wouldn't do that, though.
So that's my inclination.
What I'm trying to say is if they're an evangelical movement or even a group masquerading as such, they're new.
But
Given that they're being...
resources...
That's the interesting part. How the hell would they have that much money?
Best guess, powerful benefactors. People stand to benefit from manipulating the dead. A lot of money to be had with magic like that.
You're a confusing people. What profit is there to dying to the undead?
Living forever. We're trying to.
Nah.
All manner of foulness gets born out of that particular ambition.
Grace, question for you. With regards to when we were all put in jail, and when the go-go juice? No, it wasn't go-go juice.
Go-go juice.
Go juice!
You're talking about the Jinx juice.
What was it called? Jinx juice. Thank you. When was that with regards to when we were put in or let out of prison?
That thing happens, it depends, because you went in prison at different times. For some people it happened before, some people it happened during their prison stay. There were Icor junkies in the prison with you, notably. A lot of them were in the anti-arcane ward because they can cast spells, but they were very far gone in the addiction withdrawals process. They were basically zombied out.
No, but Grandpa's roommate was an Icor user. One of these days I'll remember his name, but I am just going to keep calling him Grandpa.
He's a grandpa. He literally has grandkids. It's fine. One day we'll follow his adventure and reconnecting with his family, but that's not today.
Cute.
Yeah, it's like a Lifetime movie.
How do you think he lost them? 2 guesses.
Oh no. Alright. What I want to know is where these locations that you have that might be temporarily holding the bodies are. Maybe Callum can potentially help there in identifying where they are. We might be able to track them if they are being carried by mundane means. If they're not, then I can potentially assist. And Maya can potentially assist in identifying where they're being stored.
I will give you a list of addresses.
That's all I would ask for.
Begin writing.
Thank you. Is there anything we can do to help? You are going through... Your shoulders are set different. There's tensions going... How?
I'll just need time.
There's a pause and then a nod. Let us know if that changes.
Just, I've lost my name recently, so don't address me directly until I've found a new one.
There's a pause and then a nod. Alright. Let us know if we can assist.
I'm accepting suggestions.
Of what language? Of what derivative?
The name.
Names mean things. I picked mine. Most of my family's picked theirs.
Well, then you can pick mine just fine.
Alright. I'll bring you a list later. And see if you like them.
By that time, he should have the list that he's going to hand to Callum. But he puts the paper on the table in front of him.
You'd trust this to me.
Hmm.
You can turn into a spider.
Doesn't predispose me to being any good at giving anyone a name.
Oh, you listed a list of
that was
addresses.
that's the addresses.
That makes more sense.
The name means very little to me. If it's not my given name or my clan name, it is useless except for your convenience. These are the addresses. They cannot know you are looking, and none of the people entering or exiting these buildings can come to harm.
Ought to be easy enough. I'll need some help finding where exactly these are, though.
I know Z Street well enough. Maya, do you want to come?
Will you stop by the movies?
I do not have funds. If you have funds and you want to drop by the movies later, after we identify the locations, again, there are people's lives at risk.
You know, you're always talking about funds to go see movies.
You
There are
need
other ways.
money. What?
You just sneak in through the back.
We'll put a pin in that for later. Let's
They've
deal
been
with this
collecting corpses
first.
for some time. I doubt that one day a delay will cause significant issues.
That does not make me want to see the movies, but I appreciate your statement. Maya, let's go attempt to assist Callum in this situation. Please. And then I can take you to the movie if you identify where they are.
If I identify where they are, I thought Callum was
If
going
we identify where they are,
to.
please.
Yeah, we'll become
Fine.
a movie together.
Yeah, there's no law against walking the streets of Old Town and looking at addresses. But you do know that the neighborhood you're being directed to is not
Not
a
good!
reputable one.
There's a reason why Carmen didn't want to go alone.
Oh, yes. Those buildings are likely occupied by talented and disciplined warriors. If you're caught walking by too many times, you will likely be detained and interrogated.
I won't kill any of them.
That's not my only concern. I don't want them to kill any of you either.
They won't.
I can bring my gun, right?
The small one, sure.
Listen,
You cannot bring the rifle.
if I hide it.
You cannot hide a rifle, Maya!
You're not trying hard enough. We just gotta get a really big bat.
Small gun.
Fine.
Good. So I think the girls...
Oh jeez. Oh yeah. And that's yeah, it's not going to. This is like a single outing, so it won't be a task.
yeah.
I will say that what you're
No.
setting up Callum to do is probably going to fall under the spying task.
That was my thought.
You may want to
was-
take another week on this if you want to get more information.
Is if we want to take another... Well, so my thought, right, if we take another week on this, right, Callum can do the spying task. Carmen can try to talk to Dallin.
Yes.
Maya can try to talk to Onyx. Ed can also attempt to gather information as to where his father is / what is going on therein. And Koloth can fucking relax because I feel really bad for him right now.
One, he explicitly asked you not to call him that. And two, he'd probably just glue himself to Ed if you guys are going around Seaski.
You're right.
there's one more matter that will pop up in the meantime, and that was going to be Maya on a different outing, because since you've been spending a lot of your days going out with Hugh Guilt, or rather being directed to go places by him and perform certain tasks in your training. At one of these times he will meet with you and say, whether at the tail end of the training as he finishes getting a report from you on the crossword puzzle he gave you. After he's done,
It was a very hard
it was
cross.
a very hard crossword, especially when Maya was asked to both complete the crossword and also find out by solving the crossword who wrote the crossword, and also has to tell Hugh Guilt I think everything she remembers about the diner that she did the crossword in, and how old she thinks the diner is, and what she knows about the owner.
Oh, goodness.
That's not great. That owner's a dick guy.
Oh, wow.
He's
Oh,
definitely stealing tips.
Oh. Wow. He should probably be killed before we do the necromancy thing. Priorities.
Priorities.
And Guilt nodding along. Like, well, sweetheart, your cynicism does you some credit there. You know, cut right to the heart of things. You're right about that owner. I've known him ever since I've lived. Well, ever since the diner opened, and, well, his employees, they go home on scraps. But on to other matters. There's something I wish to ask of you. A message I wish for you to give to Mr. Koloth for me, if you don't mind.
Oh, there's no more Mr. Koloth.
He looks very concerned with that. Well, I haven't been gone for a whole week. What happened to Koloth?
Well, he's like formerly known as Koloth.
Ah. Well, that I perhaps should have seen coming. That makes sense, given you're all on the lam, as it were. Right. He's like digest that for a moment.
Like, oh. An assumed name. That's way smarter. And then Koloth is like, I've lost everything.
You should probably talk to him at some point, Mr. Guilt. But I can relay a message in the meantime.
Well, thank you. I have a bit of a promise I made to him. There was something that he and I believe others in our little group wish to get their confiscated personal belongings back from the police after they were arrested. I did manage to get back into contact with my the one who's in the know with the NAPD, and he might be able to hook you up with finding your belongings now, if you're still interested, that is. I know Mr. whatever he calls himself was very interested in reclaiming something that was taken from him, and I severely wish to, be able to do him that little favor, considering everything that you all have done for me.
You could get me my hat back?
Your hat? Well, I'm not one to underestimate the value of a good hat, sweetheart, but I did not realize that you had such attachments yourself. Perhaps I could. Perhaps my contact could. I will warn you about my contact, though. With the NAPD, he's useful because he is not a very good police officer.
It's my favorite type of police officer. She adjusts the little boater that Hugh Guilt gave her previously.
And the slightly oversized boater hat for Maya. Well, sweetheart, you might change your mind about that after you meet him. But promise is a promise, and I will connect you with him. So please, if you do not mind relaying this message, his name is Mike Farva. He is willing to meet with you all. The appropriate time and place.
Well, I couldn't ask for more. Thank you, Mr. Gill.
Well, you're most welcome, and don't quit your day job there, sweetheart. Keep at the crossword puzzles. You'll get them. I know you were missing that 12 across, but you'll get it next time.
Do you have another for me?
I will tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Well,
Always gotta pull me back in, don't you?
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
it's another secret to being a good detective there, Miss Maya. He kind of adjusts his hat and pops his collar. Don't spill the beans on everything you know to your clients. The information is what keeps you useful, you hear?
It seems like a good idea in a hostage situation, too.
Hell, you aren't wrong about that either. I sure hope that you don't find yourself in such a situation yourself.
One can only hope, Mr. Gilt.
I rather imagine you'll be the one taking hostages. He kind of mutters under his breath a little bit. And until next time.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Well, you know where to find me.
Of course.
He bids you goodbye. Just directs you to the bus that will take you back home. Rather, at least into the southerly hills. And no, you guys cannot keep taking taxi cabs everywhere you go. You are unemployed.
Maybe we need to commit crimes.
I mean, that's an option, yeah.
Get
How about
jobs.
we get jobs instead of committing crime?
Well, I guess racketeering
Crime is a
doesn't
job.
Yeah, crime is a job. It's like I've been working hard at my job all week, and it's like you've been mugging children. It's like tough stuff.
Please don't mug children.
Not everyone has what it takes.
Nope.
To mug children.
Mug children.
That's the thing they struggle with. The mugging part. The children part's really easy.
Alright, so... I imagine you relay that message.
Oh, definitely. Can we get spelling on our contact?
Sure. So, yes, reclaiming your confiscated equipment was one of the, goals that the party had. There has been a lot of revelations, so if you all met any of your goals that we set out, just remind me, because I remember them all. I need to build a master list.
The goals feel so small considering the new context.
Alright, so there are major
You know?
things that you can accomplish that will give you automatic level up, like escaping Morgato. So bigger stakes like that are probably going to give you the immediate level ups.
Right.
Yep.
But in the meantime, everybody still has their own personal issues to address.
Now, good work, team.
Yeah, I should probably
Yeah.
turn this stuff off for now.
And that concludes this session of Arkenmore. Thank you all for listening.